Build good habits and break bad ones. Have you ever set a huge goal, then quit after just a few days? Yeah, I've been there too. One year, I told myself I'd study English 3 hours every day, read 2 books a month, work out regularly. But after just 1 week, everything fell apart. And honestly, I felt awful about myself. Then I read Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it hit me. The problem wasn't that my goals were too big or too ambitious. It was that I completely overlooked the power of small habits. James Clear says you don't need to change 100% overnight. If you just get 1% better each day by the end of a year, you'll be a completely different person. When I looked at this chart, it finally clicked. 1% might sound tiny, but over time it creates a massive gap between who you are today and who you'll be a year from now. And that's when I started changing my approach. One step at a time. Systems matter more than goals. Goals give you direction, but systems are the actual path that gets you there. Back then, I set a goal to read 50 books in a year. Guess what happened? By March, I'd already given up because all I cared about was counting books, not building a process to keep reading. It wasn't until I changed my approach, turning it into a system, reading for 15 minutes every night before bed, no matter how tired I was, that reading became something natural. And the funny thing is, once I stuck to the system, the number of books I read far exceeded my original goal. Lesson: put your energy into building a daily system that works for you, and the results will come as a natural consequence. 4 steps to building a habit. James Clear calls this the golden formula for creating any habit, and it's made up of 4 clear steps. The first is cue, the trigger. This is what prompts the behavior. For example, when I wanted to start exercising in the morning, I placed my running shoes right by my bedroom door so they were the first thing I saw when I woke up. Next is craving, the desire, the reason you want to do the behavior. I pictured the refreshing light feeling after a run, and that motivated me to start. The third step is response, the action, the actual thing you do. I didn't force myself to run 5 kilometers, just 10 minutes of warm-up or light jogging, as long as I kept the routine going. Finally, reward, the benefit, the positive feeling or small treat you give yourself. For me, it was a banana smoothie, one of my all-time favorites. The key is, these habits don't just appear out of nowhere. They're the result of a repeated cycle of cues, cravings, actions, and rewards until they naturally become a part of your life. 4 golden rules for building good habits. If you want to build a good habit, you can't just rely on willpower or fleeting bursts of motivation. According to James Clear, the key lies in designing your environment, emotions, and actions so that the habit becomes obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. He sums up the secret to habit building into 4 golden rules, simple yet incredibly effective. Rule 1. Make it obvious. Don't let your goals stay trapped in your mind. Turn them into something you see every day. For example, stick your workout schedule right on the fridge door so that every time you open it, you're reminded to move. Rule 2. Make it attractive. Pair the habit you want to build with something you love. I only allow myself to listen to my favorite podcast while walking, and suddenly I find myself looking forward to those walks. Rule 3. Make it easy. Start as small as possible. If you want to read more, don't force yourself to finish a whole chapter. Just commit to 1 page a day. Once you start, continuing will feel natural. Rule 4. Make it satisfying. Reward yourself immediately after completing the habit. Even something as simple as checking off your calendar is enough for your brain to feel like it's won and to want to win again. These 4 rules don't just help you create new habits, they make sticking to them effortless and sustainable. Eliminating bad habits. Reverse the 4 laws. The cool thing is to break a bad habit. You don't have to fight it with sheer willpower. You just reverse James Clear's 4 golden laws. Make it invisible, hide or remove the app from your home screen so your eyes no longer get triggered every time you unlock your phone. Make it unattractive. Block channels, pages, or content that easily hooks you so your brain stops craving it. Make it difficult. Set a password, add time limits, or create extra annoying steps before you can access it. Make it unsatisfying. Remind yourself of the regret, guilt, or frustration you feel after wasting time on it. I applied this exact method to TikTok, and the results were shocking. From over 3 hours a day, I cut it down to just 30 minutes. The sense of freedom and lightness is amazing. Identity is more important than outcomes. Identity is more important than outcomes. This is the principle I resonate with the most. Instead of setting a goal like I want to run a marathon, affirm I am a runner. When you link a habit to your identity, that action is no longer something you have to do. It becomes a part of who you are. I applied this to reading. Instead of forcing myself to read more books, I simply embraced the identity of a lifelong learner. The magic is reading came naturally, no pressure, no forcing, just living in alignment with who I believe I am. In short, Atomic Habits is not a get successful overnight formula, but the art of improving by 1% each day. And for me, by changing how I see habits, I didn't just reach my goals. I became a different version of myself, more persistent, disciplined, and proactive. Atomic Habits is not a book that promises you'll change overnight. It doesn't sell you the dream of instant success. What James Clear wants to convey is this: the power of small, consistent changes every day is what creates truly big and lasting results. You don't need to change the whole world in a week. You just need to change one small habit today. And stick with it. Think about it, a year from now, you'll thank yourself for starting today. And who knows? You might realize that the biggest change isn't just the results, but the person you've become along the journey. So, which habit do you want to build first? Drop a comment below so we can start together and keep each other accountable for the next 365 days. And don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss my upcoming videos on personal growth.